So let's see what happens when you run one input in and two outputs. Both channels will get the same signal because A is normalized into B, but both channels can be set at different settings. I have the two outputs panned slightly in the stereo field. So you hear how both channels are going at different speeds, left and right. That's because I have the time knob set differently. You can get some cool polyrhythms easily with this technique. So to set the same, of course, you just get the same thing in both ears, but you could play with feedback, delay feed, etc. The reverse and hold, I'll show in a minute. So let's show reverse. If you have something going, reverse is the right and read heads. So now, one thing to note about reverse is also reverses playback and record, both. So anything new does not get reversed because it's recording reverse and playing reverse. The old stuff gets reversed, but new stuff does not. So it doesn't matter if reverse is on or off, changing the state is what reverses things. Okay, now let's talk about infinite hold. Infinite hold is a feature that makes whatever's in memory play infinitely. It never writes anything new onto it, and it never lets it decay. It just plays the same, no matter how you turn the knobs. I have two loops going on here. I'm going to clear these to show you how we can create loops like this. So here's one way. If you turn feedback up high, keep your mix like that, you can start playing some sounds. Every time I add a sound, play a sound, it adds to the layer and doesn't fade away because I have feedback at 100. So now when I'm satisfied, I can just hit hold. Now it's locked in there. Playing new sounds won't get recorded. So I can use the wet-dry mix to fade in a dry layer over the wet layer, but it doesn't get recorded onto that loop. Since the two channels are time synced, it's really useful to set up two loops. So let me do that. I'll set up another one. Just hold that. So that was a drum sample that I just looped. Unlike when I made this loop with feedback at 100, where I just kept adding sounds on this one, I just played one sound through a sample and then hit hold to lock it in. You hear how these are time synced. I can play backwards also. Or do forward backwards trick, which is using the loop clock out, or some other clock if you want, into reverse. plays forward, backwards, forward, backwards. Now when infinite hold is on, time changes the size of the loop. It does this without pitch stretching or frequency shifting. Instead, it changes the start and end points of the loop. So let's hear it. So notice that the loop changed, but it didn't change pitch. It just changed in timing. And these are always going to be synced up to this master clock. Another thing you can do is called windowing. Instead of changing the end point or the start point of the loop with the time knob, you can also change the start and end points together, windowing around all of memory. So let's hear how that sounds. If you hold down the hold button while you turn the feedback knob, you will scrub the loop. So here my drum pattern changed slightly. Now the amount that it changes depends on where time is set. If one turn of feedback is equal to whatever the loop size is. Notice how infinite hold doesn't toggle modes. It's because I turned the feedback knob while I was holding it down.